Coming up tonight on the Pigskin Roundup, we will take you back to last night's epic Oxford Southside showdown at Barney Hood Stadium. The game of the week is Munford and Central of Clay County. Gerhard's Games takes you to the Pell City area. Also tonight, we will name our first KFC Jackson Mortgage Team of the Week of the 2014 season. We also debut tonight our first ever East Alabama Power Poll, and we will name the speaker for our KFC Pigskin Roundup All-Star Banquet. The first Pigskin Roundup of the season begins now on TV 24.
And welcome into the Pigskin Roundup presented by Superior Hyundai. John Holder, Mickey Shadrick's with you on the first football Friday night of the 2014 season as we are getting things started a week early, Mickey. Alabama High School Athletic Association giving teams a chance to basically play 11 weeks, 10 games in 11 weeks. So they're giving the fans, the schools out there a chance basically to have a open date, or they can play a regular season game in this first week. So what's happening is we have folks playing regular season football tonight. A lot of jamborees, but to eliminate the confusion tonight, Mickey, what we're going to do is we're going to cover the real games tonight here on the Pigskin Roundup, a special hour-and-a-half edition. We'll be with you until 12 midnight and then to our 2 hours customary next Friday night. We had it kicked off last night with high school football in the air, and Mickey, as you can tell, as always, I'm a tad bit excited for high school football.
Well, when it comes with a bang and you wonder where did spring and summer go, and here we are playing high school football again. And as always in the state of Alabama, it's pretty much going to be hot weather, and it was really hot for the game last night between Oxford and Southside. And it's funny how we start this thing in shorts and t-shirts and we end it in jackets, but that's high school football in Alabama.
A lot of great games in week one, a very electric atmosphere. Mickey, you mentioned last night, Barney Hood Stadium in Southside, a huge 6A showdown between Southside and Oxford. That is the subject of our Gadsden Messenger opening act as we take you to Barney Hood Stadium. And this is Southside's, remember this name, Alaric Williams. 65-yard touchdown run against Oxford last night. It was not enough as Oxford won the game by a score of 42-21 at Barney Hood Stadium last night. But that young man, Mickey, is only a sophomore, 6'1", 210, already been offered by both Ole Miss and the Georgia Bulldogs, just showing a sample of what he can do. Very impressive performance, 108 yards rushing last night for Southside in that losing cause.
You know, that we were both at that game, John, and this is a young man that you and I had heard a lot about leading up to this season, and Southside was without a couple of their key players. But this Williams kid, just a sophomore, but physically he looks like he's much older. He played like it as well. He was a key reason that Southside made that game interesting last night. And as you mentioned, John, the future very bright for one Alaric Williams.
Mickey, most teams, as we mentioned, not playing regular season games tonight, but there were some very big regular season games that were played tonight. We've got an abbreviated scoreboard, so let's go to our ERA King Real Estate scoreboard and get you all the final scores. Remember, these will be of regular season games last night, and of course we'll have complete highlights and post-game reaction from this game at Barney Hood Stadium in Southside as Oxford wins the opener, knocking out Southside 42-21. Congratulations to Scott Martin and the Ohatchee High School Indians winning their first game in 2 years. You had to go back to the 2012 season since they had an on-the-field victory. Tonight over in Rimlap in Blount County, they beat the Southeastern Mustangs 37-0. A great game tonight. We'll have complete highlights of this game. Alexandria, preseason number 9 in 5A. They lose tonight. A tough loss for the Valley Cubs as Jacksonville comes from 13-0 down to beat Alexandria tonight at Golden Eagle Stadium in Jacksonville 27-19. Complete highlights of that game coming on the Roundup. JCA playing tonight down in Hoover against Shades Mountain Christian, scoring shootout. That's what we we tend to expect from JCA during the Dayland bracket era. JCA falls tonight 42-34 at the hands of Shades Mountain Christian. Hey, a defensive struggle tonight down at Munford. We've got Chad Barnett coming along with our game of the week, and he will have all the highlights and post-game reaction of number 4 in 5A Central of Clay County beating Munford tonight 10-7 down at Munford. A thriller tonight at Legion Stadium in Sylacauga where the Aggies beat Chilton County 28-27. Last night, Reeltown beats Childersburg 21-13 down at Reeltown. ASD and Waterloo tonight playing down in Talladega, still looking for a final on that one. Talladega had the early lead on TCC, but no final yet from down in Howell Cove on that game. We'll have highlights of this game coming. A great matchup tonight between Pell City and Walker down at Pete Rich Alumni Stadium in Pell City. Pell City beats Walker tonight 17-14. Big win for Brooks Dampier and the Pell City Panthers. We'll also have highlights of Victory Christian and Holy Spirit. No final yet. Victory had the early lead in Coach Mark Sanders' debut as he leads the Lions out tonight against Holy Spirit. 7-2, they led that game early on. We'll have highlights of that game coming. Hamilton tonight beating the Moody Blue Devils tonight over at Moody. That game was moved from Thursday night to tonight. Hamilton wins it 14-10. What a huge win for Matt Scott and the Gadsden City Titans tonight. 34-28 in double overtime down at Doug Sanford Stadium in Auburn. Auburn, the 6A runner-up last year, moving up to 7A this year, the preseason number 5 team. Gadsden City went to Auburn last year and had the lead and lost it, and lost the game 16-13. They had a lead tonight that was 14-0 at one point. Auburn came back, but Gadsden City goes to 2 overtimes and they win it, setting up a big showdown next week between the Titans and the Yellow Jackets at Titan Stadium in Gadsden, talking about Gadsden City and Oxford. Etowah, a tough loss tonight down in Tuscaloosa. Etowah led this game 14-10 in the second half, but Northridge scores in the fourth quarter to beat the Blue Devils 16-14. Some big games around the state tonight. Number 9 versus number 7 in Class 2A. Your defending 1A champion Pickens County moving up to Class 2A, and they squeezed by number 7 Addison. Addison led most of that game, but the Tornadoes win it 26-23 tonight. Thomasville and Sweetwater down in Southwest Alabama. Thomasville the number 7 team in 4A. Sweetwater number 5 in 2A. Thomasville wins it 24-6. Dale County, they have 2, not 1, but 2 great college prospect running backs down at Midland City. They're the number 4 team in 3A, and they had their way. You just don't see Trinity Presbyterian lose games like this. Dale County beats them tonight in Midland City 48-12. T.R. Miller, preseason number 3 in 3A, knocking out number 9 Andalusia tonight down in the heart of South Alabama at Andalusia. T.R. Miller wins it 38-15. Madison Academy and Leeds. At one point in this game, Leeds actually led Madison Academy 14-3 up in Madison. Leeds number 1 in 4A, Madison Academy number 1 in 3A, a rematch of last year's 3A state championship game. Still looking for a final score from up in Madison County. Viger and Blunt, the Battle of Pritchard tonight at Pritchard Stadium. Still looking for a final on that one. This was maybe the game of the night over in Irondale at the Knicks Athletic Complex. Number 3 versus number 6 in 6A. Maybe the big marquee matchup in the state tonight, as Shades Valley was a winner over Florence by a score of 37-35. And tomorrow, look at this matchup. Number 7 versus number 8 in the country tomorrow, bright and early at 11 o'clock in the morning in the heat at the Hoover Met. Hoover taking on Miami Central out of Florida. And that's our ERA King Real Estate scoreboard. An abbreviated version tonight. We'll have the full scoreboard as everybody virtually swings into action next week. Back at the desk, Mickey Shadricks. We've got a lot of big announcements to make tonight. Always do on the first show of the year. One of the things we want to talk about is our KFC Pigskin Roundup All-Star Banquet. You're the man. I will just tell you this before Mickey makes the announcement. This will be our 4th year in a row to bring an SEC head coach right here to the TV24 viewing area. Mickey, make the announcement about this year's speaker.
John, we're very excited. Once again, this year we've got a great speaker lined up for the Pigskin Roundup All-Star Banquet. It'll be later in December. And here we go. In case you haven't heard yet, it's in our Pigskin Roundup magazine that just came out. Dan Mullen, head coach at Mississippi State, will be our featured speaker on Monday night, December the 15th, once again at Word Alive in the Coldwater area in Oxford. We will unveil our Pigskin Roundup 2014 All-Star team. Our Coach of the Year will also be joined by Mississippi State head coach Dan Mullen. John, you're right, it's another big-name college coach. Keeps us in the Southeastern Conference, keeps us in the best division of the best conference in the country. And not to mention that Dan Mullen's team is expected to be pretty good this year as well.
Dak Prescott, if they can keep him healthy, they could have a big season over in Starkville. And by that time, they'll probably be talking about a bowl game and maybe more. If you're a big Mississippi State fan, you certainly are hopeful that that's going to happen. Dan Mullen will join us at Word Alive. And Mickey, I know you were out last night as well. We've already seen some very good candidates to be on that Pigskin Roundup All-Star team just here in the first couple of nights of the season. Yeah, a lot of talent in our area. And we say that every year, but this year is no exception. We've already had some big-time players that have already made commitments. We've got several big-time players that have a lot of offers on the table. They'll be making decisions, some in the fall, some will hold off, obviously, closer to signing day. Recruiting-wise, should be another great season here in East Alabama. And we want to talk about some popular items, folks. The Pigskin Roundup All-Star Banquet is always very popular, but these things right here, we've been doing this for, what, about 10 years, 10, 11 years that we've been doing this. And I want to tell you, this Pigskin Roundup magazine, I think it's more popular this year than any year that we've had in the history of this magazine. Yeah, John, they seem to go fast every year, and this year is no exception. And here you see on the screen, you see the cover of this year's magazine, a great cover story by John Holder on Southside lineman Tyler Carr, who is one of those recruits we were just talking about. He is verbally committed to Auburn. There you see he's standing by his position coach, Larry Rose, who was a great player in his days at Emma Sansom High School and later in the SEC at Alabama. Great cover story about the parallels between those two young men, Coach Rose back in the 80s, Tyler Carr obviously playing now. You can pick up your Pigskin Roundup magazine at any of the locations on your screen: KFC, select Samco Express Marts, Jack's, Grub Mart, and Dad's Barbecue. And we'll also say if you go to any of these locations and you have trouble finding one, if they're out, you can always call us here at the TV24 studios and we will get one in your hands. And you better go early in the morning and get those, because I think by the end of the day tomorrow they may all be gone. Well, we want to welcome a special guest in with us. We're going to do something totally new. We always are trying new things here, Mickey, on the Pigskin Roundup. And this year we are going to actually have a special guest or guest. It's going to be varied every week, but we're going to have someone that's going to actually kind of tote the pigskin, deliver our game ball, so to speak, and kick off the Pigskin Roundup every Friday night here at the beginning of the show. And the gentleman that we have right here wearing his Oxford Yellow Jacket shirt is Jackie Stovall. Many of you will remember going back on December the 15th, 2012, Jackie Stovall, a police officer who was actually shot right outside our studio here. You remember the incident that happened just 10 days before Christmas right here in Oxford, Alabama. And he's had a tremendous battle in recovering from that. He's a huge fan of the Pigskin Roundup, and we hear about that a lot. And I think you got a son playing at Oxford, is that right?
Yes, he's a senior this year, Ryan Stovall. So he's a senior. I say two things. I've been doing that 20 years with the stats and waited on him to actually get to this level. So I don't know if getting shot actually helped put me in the stands so I could watch and not do the stats, or but I'll be doing them again next year. And we're going to walk, and it's a blessing. The good Lord blessed us, and we're here, so that's all that matters.
Jackie, I know you probably don't feel this way, but I know that we do, and I know a lot of folks, and you know from the outpouring of folks over the last couple of years in East Alabama, you're a hero. You're a hero. You saved lives that day, putting your life on the line for us. And right outside our studio here, we want to thank you for your service through the years. Thank you for putting your life on the line to keep the citizens safe here in East Alabama. Yes, and we appreciate you being here to kick off Pigskin Roundup, our first one of 2014.
Thank you.
Jackie, thank you very much. And I'm going to tell you, this young man, you and I go way back. Went to high school together. Little did we know what would happen to you. I was here the day that happened. And John, I don't know if anyone could be approaching this situation with a better spirit, with a better attitude than what Jackie has done.
Thank you.
This type of situation would knock a lot of strong people off their feet. Jackie Stovall still hanging in there.
Yep.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Hey, who's going to be next week? This is going to be the question. We're going to have some special surprise guests throughout the season every Friday night to tote the pigskin and kick off Pigskin Roundup. When we come back, we're going to talk White Plains High School football. The head coach of the Wildcats, the new head coach, Larry Strain, is live in the studio. And now it's time for our first Anniston Orthopedics. It's got a new name, Extra Point. The AHSAA added a new classification beginning with the 2014-15 school year. The 32 largest teams in the state in enrollment were placed into a new super class of schools. The new 7A class in football will consist of just 4 regions and only 4 rounds of playoffs. When we come back, we talk White Plains football as the Pigskin Roundup rolls on a football Friday night.
Hey folks, this is George Brunner with Superior Hyundai. The 2015s are on the lot, and regardless of profit or loss, the 2014s gotta go. Superior Hyundai offers special military discounts, special first responder discounts, and special educator discounts as a way for us to say thanks for your service. And we offer a first-time buyers program and a fresh start program that helps good people with bad credit. So our goal is 100% credit approval, plus Hyundai Assurance and America's Best Warranty, 10 years, 100,000 miles. So drive happy at Superior Hyundai in Anniston, Alabama.
The Calhoun County Commission, made up of Fred Wilson, Tim Hodges, Don Hudson, J.D. Hess, and Rudy Abbott, asks that you take a look at what Calhoun County has to offer. With our beautiful parks, neighborhoods, recreational facilities, historic sites, and museums, our citizens enjoy a high quality of life and strongly support the arts. If you're considering expanding or starting a new business, take a look at what Calhoun County has to offer. You'll be glad you did.
Your neighborhood Grub Mart is your one-stop shop for everything you need when you're on the go. Grub Mart features the best prices on Coke and Pepsi products and is home to the 99-cent bag of ice every day. And Grub Mart is your exclusive home for the popcorn bucket. Purchase yours for only $5.99 and then bring it in for free refills throughout the year. That's right, free popcorn for a full year. Your locally owned and operated Grub Mart, in business for over 72 years.
It's B&B Pawn's 23rd annual Buy and Sold Trade Day, a sale so big it takes 2 days. This Friday and Saturday at the Anniston location, Highway 202. Special savings store-wide. All jewelry 20 to 60% off. We'll be buying high-end watches, silver, flatware, sports memorabilia, and any size diamonds. Paying top dollar. Private appointments available. Bring anything of value and turn it into cash. Don't miss B&B Pawn's 23rd annual Buy and Sold Trade Day this Friday and Saturday at the Anniston location, Highway 202.
At RMC, we love serving people in the small towns of Northeast Alabama. The lifestyle, the food, the people. But make no mistake, there's nothing small about the care we provide. In fact, we're a member of the UAB Cancer Network and have the Blue Distinction Award for cardiac care and are rated in the top 5% in the country by the Commission on Cancer.
It's not about the size of the town.
It's not about the size of the town.
It's not about the size of the town.
It's about the strength of our regional health system.
Hi, I'm Coach Smith of the Jacksonville Golden Eagles, and you're watching the Pigskin Roundup right here on TV 24.
And we're back on the Pigskin Roundup presented by Superior Hyundai. Want to thank the fine folks at Dad's Barbecue, locations Noble Street in Anniston, McClellan Boulevard in Anniston, Rainbow Drive in Rainbow City. For many years now, they have provided the meal for our entire crew and our guests that are here on the Pigskin Roundup each and every Friday night. Tonight, bringing barbecue, their fantastic smoked chicken, all the fixings to go with it, great sweet tea and all that. Thanks to the fine folks at Dad's Barbecue, again in 2014, providing our meals for our guest and crew here on the Pigskin Roundup. As we bring it back in, we promised you we were going to talk some White Plains High School football. We got the new head coach of the Wildcats, Larry Strain, here with us live in the studio. Coach Strain, welcome in. Glad to have you with us for the first time on the Pigskin Roundup.
Well, I'm excited about being here, and thank you for inviting me.
Coach, you're not a stranger to folks in this area. Obviously, 16 very successful years at Woodland, and now you're coming over to White Plains, and the transition, it's got to be something new for you because you were there at Woodland for a long time, and to be able to put on a new color and a new shirt and new kids and new facilities and things, I know it's had to be kind of different to actually change schools.
Well, it was a big change, obviously. Anytime you get somewhere 16 years, you you get used to doing certain routines and certain habits. But it's been a smooth transition. You know, the people at White Plains are a great group of people there, and they've welcomed me with open arms there, and I just fell into that community, and it seems to be just like Woodland, just about it.
You know, I know that it was a tough decision for you to leave Woodland. That's a very special place for your kids. Went to school and graduated there. You won state championships and the girls basketball obviously there. So there had to be some really attractive things about White Plains to pull you away. What were those things that attracted you to White Plains?
Well, you know, it really comes to a point in your crossroad in your life a lot of times, and I thought it was really a good time to change at the time. You know, all my daughters both graduated, all my kids got out of high school, and you know, one big huge factor is both my girls playing at JSU, so that had a lot to do with it. You can just ride over the mountain there in about 10 minutes and get to go watch them play. But you know, it was a new challenge too, and it was a community, like I said, already very similar to Woodland, and that's one of the reasons why I wanted that challenge.
You know, you mentioned your daughters, and I know that was an important part of that. You got one of them here with you tonight, and you're going to be able to spend a lot of time watching them both play basketball, as you mentioned at Jacksonville State. They're getting to play together again for the first time in several years, and I know that's exciting for you as a father.
It is. You know, they got to play together when they was in the 7th and 8th grade together, and first time they get to see them on the court again since that time, so you know that our family is very excited about this.
Well, let's dive in and talk some football now about White Plains. We had you guys in the TV 24 Pigskin Roundup Spring Jam up at Jack State in the spring. You had a quarter there, I think, against a quarter or two there against Ohatchee and then against Pleasant Valley.
Right.
You got a lot of young players on the team, a lot of young guys in the secondary. Drew Hudson, a 9th grader at quarterback. It seems like maybe the youth movement is taking place at White Plains.
Well, the situation that happens there, you know, the whole culture has been a basketball and a school, basically, and baseball. And a lot of the kids, when they get a little older, you know, they tend to specialize in those sports. Well, that leaves you with your younger kids. I know in the spring there, I think that every skilled kid that I had that was starting in one of the games was all 9th graders. So it is a youth movement, but I've got some quality seniors that are back as well. And you know, the whole thing about the program there is we're just trying to get them excited about it and point in the right direction.
I think you would agree that this is a long-term thing. You're here to, this is a thing that's going to, you know, you got a plan in place 1, 2, 3, 4 years down the line. When you put that first building block in place, so to speak, what's for a Larry Strain program, what's that first block that you want to put in place?
Well, you know, when we came in there, the first thing that we had to do was work in the weight room and get stronger, because we didn't feel like our kids were very strong, and that's one thing that we started, and really learning how to be physical in the game of football. That's one of the first things that we stressed to try to be. And I felt like that was one of the areas that we need to work on, and we still got to work on it. We're not there yet by no means, but we're steadily working towards that means.
When folks come out and maybe they didn't see Woodland play back over all the years, but they're excited about White Plains football. The White Plains fans, folks in your region, you're moving up to 4A this year, and we'll talk about that in a moment. But what can they expect from a Larry Strain coach team?
Well, you know, I hope that you can say that that we're very physical, like I've already mentioned there just a minute ago, but it's usually a type of offense, in which that's what I generally do and call. It's on the offensive side of the ball. It's really a wide open type of offense, but it depends on what type of kids you got. You know, since I've been at Woodland, we've been anything from the double wing to the eye to the gun, and it really basically depended upon what type of kids we had and what kind of skill people we had. You know, we're fortunate we got a 9th grade quarterback in Drew Hudson this time that can throw the ball a little bit, but we got some young kids up front as well. So the maturity level there of whether we can protect him or where we're able to run the football makes a big difference to what we're going to try to do.
You're coming in at a time when White Plains itself is going through a lot of transition. They're moving up to Class 4A for the first time in school history. You had a chance tonight. You were out doing some scouting, went over to Hoax Bluff. That's a region opponent for you. They were playing Pleasant Valley, who is not a region opponent, but it's a big rival because Pleasant Valley and White Plains have played every year that Pleasant Valley has been a school, so that's a big rival game. Just tell us about this region, your thoughts on jumping into 4A play.
Well, I know it's new for White Plains, but it's definitely new for me because most of the schools that we're playing, you know, we've never played them when I was at Woodland to start with. So there's a lot of learning there that's going to take place. But it is a big change for us, going especially White Plains was a 1A school for most of its life, pretty much, and moved to 2A. Then I think the last time in the classification they were only 3A and stayed there one classification period, if I'm not mistaken. But now 4A, because a lot of people are moving out in our community, it's going to face us against different people that really White Plains has never played. But we have to also understand in that 4A, now we've kind of got to up our level in our game in order to be able to compete with those people.
As we get into the season, next week you open up to, you played in a jamboree last night up at Spring Garden in the Cherokee County Jamboree. 8 teams in that. You played a couple of halves up there in that particular jamboree. What did you come away with last night from the Cherokee County Jamboree?
Well, we started off in the first game there and was playing Sandrock, and we had still a little bit of jitters and a little nervous, and kids not really knowing what to do, but after they got involved in the ball game, they began to play a lot better and understand the physicality of the game. In the second half there, we played Glencoe, and Glencoe is a very talented and fine football team, and there, Glencoe kind of hit us around a little bit, and we weren't accustomed to that. But our kids responded very well. So that's the biggest point that I got to stress to them, especially going to 4A. The talent level is much more superior than what they've been used to playing.
As you go into Asheville next week and open up for real next Friday night over in St. Clair County, what are you looking for? What are some things, not necessarily X's and O's wise, but just attitude wise from your team? What are some things you're looking for when you hit the field over at Ken Logan Stadium?
Well, start with, and that's what I've already been discussing with my kids, is the approach that we take to the game, the mental focus that we take to the game. I really don't believe that we were as sincere or serious that we needed to be in the spring, and as well as last night. And I keep stressing that to them, that it's a certain way that we're going to approach everything, and the way we do things has to be very specific. And I've been stressing that to them. But going in the game, we're still unsure on some of the positions that we got kids playing. There's always a lot of changes in that first week from week 1 to week 2. I stress to them also that usually the biggest jump you get to make during the course of a season is between week 1 and week 2, because you get to play in competition, play somebody else other than yourself.
I want to go back before we let you go and talk a little bit about Woodland, because there's probably no one better qualified to talk about Woodland. I know Coach Boyd over there, his first head coaching job, he was an assistant for you for several years. Kind of give us a preview. What do you think? How you think Woodland's going to be this year?
Well, I think Woodland's going to be fine. I think they played Cleveland County tonight in the Jamboree, and I don't know exactly how that score ended up. I know Cleveland County was ahead, but Woodland's going to be fine, because they got the Justin Herring kid that he could really play at the next level if he really put a little more effort to it and play there. And he's got the Kendall Hudson that plays a free safety that is as good as anybody around here, to be honest with you. But the kids there know the work ethic. They know the work ethic. They know what it is to be in a weight room. And Coach Boyd's going to do an excellent job. Sure, he was under me, but he's been under a lot of other talented coaches there, like Pat Prestridge, and he's been under played for Coach Waters, Ron Waters, for years ago at Randolph County High School. So they know what's going on. Basically, the staff stayed intact except for me, and all those guys have been there for several years. So Woodland will be fine.
Coach, I will say this to the folks that are out there watching that maybe not familiar with Woodland football down through the years and not familiar with Larry Strain. It's going to be an exciting time at White Plains. One thing about Coach Strain, great guy, high character guy, and I tell you, the folks at White Plains are going to be very pleased with what they're getting, not only in the coach, but also in the type of man they're getting with Larry Strain. He is an asset to Calhoun County football. And Coach, we just appreciate you coming and being with us on the Pigskin Roundup. We're going to be watching you throughout the year. Good luck next Friday night over at Asheville, and it ought to be a fun season.
It sure should. Thank you, sir.
Larry Strain is the new head football coach of the White Plains Wildcats, headed to Asheville next Friday night to officially open the 2014 season. We'll come back with more of the Pigskin Roundup. We're just getting started with you all the way until 12 midnight here on TV 24.
The Honda Summer Clearance event is going on right now at Sunny King Honda, with interest rates as low as 0.9% for 60 months on Accords, Civics, and CRVs. And also take a look at these great lease specials. Lease a 14 Civic LX 4-door automatic for only $139 a month. Lease a 14 Accord LX 4-door automatic for only $189 a month. Sunny King Honda, exit 188 off Interstate 20, where customer satisfaction is king.
It is time to take America back. Vote straight Republican ticket in November and support our local candidates. Commissioner J.D. Hess, District 4 Commissioner, Carolyn Henderson for Revenue Commissioner, and Sheriff Larry Amerson for Calhoun County Sheriff.
Why do so many people choose Riverview Regional Medical Center? Reason number 1, ER Extra. ER Extra is extra fast emergency room care. You'll be seen by a doctor or medical clinician in no time flat. ER Extra.
extra fast, extra easy, extra great emergency care.
ER Extra, one of the many reasons you choose Riverview Regional Medical Center. Close by, far better.
Dad started Awards to Remember when he was just a junior in high school. Since then, it has grown to be one of the top dealers in the Southeast for plaques, trophies, and awards. Awards to Remember can create great awards to recognize and motivate people for everything from a youth league player to a $1 million salesperson, and they work hard to take care of their customers. We promise you'll be glad when you visit them on Highway 144 in Ohatchee or visit awardstoRemember.com. How has Dad been in business for 29 years when he tells us he's only 28?
The traditions of high school football run deep in Alabama. If you want to see the spirit of a great community pulling in one direction, come take a look at high school football in Calhoun County. It's not only a grand tradition, but it sits at the heart of our community. Traditions are important, and at F&M Bank, we enjoy a tradition of providing the best in hometown banking. After all, and our role as your community bank, helping bring this game to the air is another tradition we embrace. Come see us today in Piedmont, Anniston, Jacksonville, and Oxford. Farmers and Merchants Bank, member FDIC, and equal housing lender.
It is time to take America back. Vote straight Republican ticket in November and support our local candidates. Commissioner J.D. Hess, District 4 Commissioner, Carolyn Henderson for Revenue Commissioner, and Sheriff Larry Amerson for Calhoun County Sheriff.
And for the news, sports, and weather that matters to you here in East Alabama, tune in each weeknight at 9 and 10 for TV 24 Primetime News. Folks, it is the only true local news in East Alabama. Also, you can check out a lot of the news at tv24.tv as well. Back on the Pigskin Roundup, presented by Superior Hyundai, John Holder, Mickey Shadricks, our entire very hard-working Pigskin Roundup team with you on the Football Friday night. And folks, it is back. Yes, it is the Cleghorn HVAC Services Stadium Cushions, Mickey, back once again this year.
Yeah, John, these were a very hot item last year. It was the first year we had done them. We introduced them to the market last year, and people asking for these, and we're going to have a whole nother season of being out at stadiums on Friday night, throwing out the Pigskin Roundup Cleghorn HVAC seat cushions, and I guess a little shameless relevant plug for Cleghorn HVAC. If you're hot at home, give them a call because you may need them before it cools off.
That is the time of year for this, with the hottest weather of the season, heat advisories, and all that going on. We also want to remind folks, you see right here our Jacks rolling roundup throughout the night. We'll have updated final scores of the regular season games, also some other good information on our Jacks rolling roundup. That's throughout the night here on the Pigskin Roundup. We will also tell you that we are going to give away again this year. I think we've done this every year, Mickey. We are going to send another very fortunate Pigskin Roundup viewer to the beach for 8 days and 7 nights.
That's right, John. Thanks to Pam and Mike Callahan and all the folks at Starfish Realty for partnering with us once again on the Dream Vacation, the beach giveaway to Gulf Shores, 8 days and 7 nights. Compliments of Starfish Realty and Dad's Barbecue. We'll do the qualifying just like we do every year. You can go by a Dad's Barbecue location. They have 2 in Anniston, 1 on Noble Street, 1 on Quintard Avenue, and also 1 on Rainbow Drive in the Gadsden area. You can register as often as you'd like. Eat lunch, eat dinner as often as you'd like while you're there as well. And we'll be having that grand prize drawing at the end of the year. And John, we've been doing this so long that last night I'm out at the Southside Oxford game handing out magazines and met one of our beach vacation winners from a few years ago. So that was a treat as well.
We're always giving things away. We mentioned the stadium cushions. You'll see us throwing those out. You'll see us later on in the show throwing out touchdown T-shirts. Dr. Clinton Ray, those are back. And also the beach giveaway. And that's not all, because we're giving away another recliner this year, which is another Pigskin Roundup tradition.
It is a tradition. And seeing John Holder kick back in the Lazy Boy Lancer recliner each and every Friday night is a tradition here on the Pigskin Roundup. Once again, all you have to do is go by Classic Home Furnishings on Highway 78 East in Oxford. You can register as often as you'd like, and we will have the grand prize drawing for the recliner coming up at the end of the season as well.
Mickey, I had an email, and I forwarded this email to you. We had a viewer that has been watching the Pigskin Roundup for years. He's moved kind of out of our typical viewing area over into extreme western Etowah County. His parents live in Jacksonville. His name's Kevin Jones, And we found out this week that Kevin, for years now, has been driving over an hour every Friday night to Jacksonville. For what reason? To watch the Pigskin Roundup. That's how much folks love this program. We want to thank folks for supporting that. But you know what? He doesn't really have to do that anymore, because now you can watch the Pigskin Roundup anywhere on a live stream.
That's right, John. You can go to our website at tv24.tv. The program is being streamed every Friday night, and that makes it easy if you're outside the viewing area and cannot catch it over a cable system or AT&T UVerse or over the air for that matter. You can always catch it online. You know, the easy thing about that is, we got some teams in region play. They're going to have some long road trips. You literally can get in your car with your smartphone, and if, let's say you're Oxford going down to Clanton to Chilton County later in the season, you can get in your car in Chilton County and watch the Pigskin Roundup all the way home. Yeah, that's a great advantage too, because you get the scores and the highlights that you care about right here at home.
And speaking of the Oxford Yellow Jackets, they were on the road last night at Southside. Huge matchup taking place at Barney Hood Stadium. Mickey, as you mentioned earlier, we were both there last night for this epic matchup. Southside moving to 6A for the first time ever. A lot of talent on the field last night. It was an electric atmosphere. 7,000 or 8,000 fans easily. Standing room only 4 or 5 deep. Not a seat to be had over at Southside last night for Southside and Oxford.
Yeah, last night, if you were interested in catching good high school football, Barney Hood Stadium in Southside, hey, that was the place to be. The atmosphere, it was expected to be electric, and it was. Our Superior Hyundai highlights take us out to Barney Hood Stadium, Southside last night. There we see both head coaches, Coach Herring and Coach Daughtery, visiting before the game. Great Class 6A season opening matchup, Oxford and Southside. No scoring in the first, but plenty in the second. Oxford's Ty Weber hits Trey Gamble, who shows why he is one of the best wide receivers in the state. Takes it down to the 1-yard line. Then on the next play, Weber would sneak it in for the touchdown. Oxford strikes first on the road, 7-0. And for the first time this year, we see the Dr. Ray, Dr. Lawler touchdown t-shirts. Later in the quarter, more from Oxford. Weber drops back, goes up top to Jacob Cook, who had a great night. Great back shoulder catch. A 36-yard scoring play. Oxford up 14-0. Southside showing some signs of life here. Halfback pass, Tristan Shaw to Holt Keeling. Keeling does the rest. 73-yard scoring play. Southside on the board at 14-7. Next possession, Oxford back on the attack. Weber to Cook, right up the middle. Cook in a foot race almost gets there, taken down at the 11-yard line. Then on the next play, Dylan Siplin takes the handoff right up the gut. 11-yard touchdown run. Jackets with a 2-touchdown lead at 21-7. Panthers, though, they would answer right back. Check out the speed here. Holt Keeling just right up the gut of the Oxford defense, and he takes it all the way down to the south side, down to the 1-yard line for Southside. Then the Panthers would cash it in for a touchdown to make it 21-14. Oxford returning the favor, though. Weber, 17-yard run down to the 5. Next play, Thomas Rudolph hits the corner, and he is into the end zone. Jackets up by 3 scores at 35-14. Southside, though, no quit in these Panthers on this night. Alaric Williams, the outstanding sophomore, sweeps down the near sidelines, takes it 65 yards for the touchdown, making it a 14-point game again at 35-21, which takes us to the fourth quarter. That's where the Jackets would put it away for good. Check out the tough running here by Rudolph. Got some big holes to fill from Rock Thomas and shows some tough running there on his own part. Oxford goes on to win it 42-21. John Holder spoke with both coaches.
I tell you, I thought we really hit on defense. We had a couple of mistakes, and they had some big plays out of it. But I thought, being able to get the ball to Cook since they double team Gamble, and I thought on defense, us running and hitting, that was the 2 best things about the game to me.
Oxford's always a good team. They're always going to play hard and be very well coached. I'm proud of our guys. We fought to the very end of the game. Had a couple breaks, didn't go our way. We had some kids step up that's never even had a chance to play in a varsity game, so we're really proud of that. Can't wait to look at the film, make some corrections.
Playing somebody kind of close by, and you saw the crowd tonight, that's what high school football is all about. Instead of driving 2 hours to Huntsville or 2 hours to Opelika or whatever, playing people nearby, that makes high school football better, and I wish we did more of it. I thought it was a great deal tonight.
And there you see the final score, Oxford winning at 42-21. Now, it is important to note, John, that Southside was playing without 2 of their best players. Tyler Carr on the cover of our Pigskin Roundup magazine, the Auburn commit, obviously at 6'6", 300-plus pounds. He is a force to be reckoned with. He was not available due to illness. And also their best defensive player, Hunter Armstrong, middle linebacker, was not able to play as well. But this was a matchup that really, I think, favored Oxford anyway. I think what Southside could have used is a few more corners who could run about a 4-3-4-4, because to me the strength of this Oxford team was clear last night, John. They were strong running the ball last year with Rock Thomas. This year it's pretty clear they're going to be putting the ball in the air with an experienced senior quarterback in Ty Weber. A great receiving crew led by Trey Gamble. The Rudolph kid, if he gets to going rushing the football, that'll only complement the passing game. But this was a matchup that really was Oxford's passing game against an undermanned Southside team, and the Jackets come out with the big win, which they'll need that momentum heading into Gadsden City next week.
The Southside also, Ben Mills, the All-State 1A player that transferred over in the spring from Coosa Christian, he had a broken hand. So they were shorthanded last night, but I'll tell you, I was impressed with both teams. Southside going to be fine. This may be the best football team they play in Oxford this year, and they're going to be fine. They've got a big Thursday game coming up again with Hoax Bluff next week at home. And what can you say about Alaric Williams? 10th grader, already has been offered, as we mentioned, by Georgia and Ole Miss. This guy is going to be incredible. We're going to be talking about this guy a lot for the next 3 years.
Yeah, and we talk about Oxford's strength appears to be throwing the football. I think Southside clearly is going to cause a lot of problems for teams, especially when Carr gets back. They got some more size on that offensive line, and they get Williams going from that tailback position. They're going to be very tough to stop rushing the football. But make a note here, John. Tyler Carr has an illness that may keep him sidelined for a while. It'll be interesting to watch that to see exactly when he and Armstrong are able to return to the line.
Yeah, our understanding is that Carr and Armstrong both have mono, and what that does is drains your energy, and that's going to be a really, really lengthy recovery, possibly in this heat. That really compounds the situation. So we'll see what happens next Thursday night if they can get both of those guys back as Mike Robertson and the Hoax Bluff Eagles come to Barney Hood Stadium. As we head to break, time for our next Anniston Orthopedics Extra Point of the night. And a new addition to the AHSAA football scheduling procedure this season adds an extra week to the regular season. Schools now have 11 weeks to play the maximum 10-game regular season. The extra week was added at the beginning of the season and allows teams to either play a regular game, a jamboree, or take an open date in the first week of play. More of the Pigskin Roundup as we roll on till 12 midnight on TV 24.
Hey folks, this is George Brunner with Superior Hyundai. The 2015s are on the lot, and regardless of profit or loss, the 2014s gotta go. Superior Hyundai offers special military discounts, special first responder discounts, and special educator discounts as a way for us to say thanks for your service. And we offer a first-time buyers program and a fresh start program that helps good people with bad credit. So our goal is 100% credit approval. Plus Hyundai Assurance and America's Best Warranty, 10 years, 100,000 miles. So drive happy at Superior Hyundai in Anniston, Alabama.
Excellence, honor, scholarship, tradition. The Donahoe School is the premier college preparatory school in Calhoun County. Since 1963, Donahoe students have been reaping the benefits from a challenging academic curriculum and a family environment. Unique opportunities in academics, athletics, fine arts, and many other educational activities make the Donahoe School the #1 choice for independent education in the area. Schedule your tour and experience the Donahoe difference.
Come in to Classic Home Furnishing this Friday for its annual Labor Day sales event. Classic Home Furnishings is the area's only Lazy Boy comfort studio and has hundreds of Lazy Boy sofas, love seats, and recliners to choose from, not to mention a large selection of bedroom, dining, and mattress sets. This weekend, we have Lazy Boy recliners starting at $299 and sofas at $599. With up to 24 months interest-free financing, we guarantee the lowest prices on all of our products. Come in today for our Labor Day sales event going on now through Monday at Classic Home Furnishings, Highway 78 East in Oxford.
I live for the game. Tried and true, I've seen black and blue. But what if the game doesn't live for me? What if the game is determined to take me out? I deserve better than that. I've committed myself to the game. I've committed myself to excellence.
When it comes to barbecue, nobody does it better than Dad's Barbecue. With locations in Anniston and Rainbow City, folks from all over East Alabama love Dad's.
So I've been eating at Dad's ever since Dad's has been here, I guess. I don't know, up at by the old Kmart. So Dad's is a great place, and I've always said, they got the best sauce around. Dad's is a frequent stop, at least once a week.
For dine-in, takeout, or tailgating, nobody does it better than Dad's Barbecue. Visit us today in Anniston or Rainbow City.
Hi, I'm Coach Robert Herring of the Talladega Tigers, and you're watching the Pigskin Roundup right here on TV 24.
Hey, check out our new and improved website at tv24.tv. Many of our local shows are streamed live, such as TV24 Primetime News and, of course, the Pigskin Roundup. Also, check out the on-demand section where you can watch many of our most popular local programs whenever you want. That's at tv24.tv. And we also have a fantastic sponsor this year, Superior Hyundai. And let me tell you about one of the great cars that Superior Hyundai has. It's their Sonata, and it is a fantastic vehicle. Their Sonata Sport is 25 miles per gallon in the city, 37 miles per gallon on the highway. Advanced suspension design, sophisticated safety features, redefining really what a mid-size sedan can be. The sport trim includes visual details and really gives the Sonata Sport an athletic edge. You can go check one out in person at Superior Hyundai at 110 South Quintard Avenue in Anniston. And that is a fantastic vehicle right there. We also want to tell you this year we are going to have another Player of the Week award, and that's presented by the folks at Uncle Sam's Barbecue. We have a number of candidates already in Week 1. What we'll do is we will announce our Week 1 Sam's Barbecue Player of the Week. That will be next week here on the Pigskin Roundup. That Player of the Week will receive a $25 gift certificate courtesy of Uncle Sam's Barbecue, not only in Gadsden on Rainbow Drive, but also now in Oxford, located at the Oxford Exchange. It is time for Gerhard's Games tonight. F&M Bank presenting Gerhard's Games in 2014 with TV 24 Sports Director Gerhard Mathangani. Gerhard, tonight we had you running I-20 West this evening over in the Metro Pell City area. And I say Metro Pell City because any city that has 3 exits on the interstate's a metro area, and you were checking out 2 of those tonight. First stop was Eden tonight. Big matchup between Victory Christian and Holy Spirit Catholic coming up I-59-20 from Tuscaloosa. Great way to kick things off down in Pell City tonight, Gerhard.
Absolutely, and Victory Christian looking for some momentum. Obviously, John, they've only won 1 game in the last 4 seasons, but they enter a new coach, and they also have a new look to themselves. And so we'll find out how they did at home in their first game back in Class 1A. They're actually facing 2A Holy Spirit. We'll go to the F&M Bank highlights. You'll see it looks like the Detroit Lions against the Tennessee Titans, but it's actually one of the new looks for Victory Christian. Take a look at the new look helmet. Also a new coach. That is Mark Sanders, former Alabama right guard, played from 2002 to 2005, looking to turn that thing around over at Victory Christian. Holy Spirit on offense here. Great defense by Victory. Kyle Robertson leading the charge there for the touchdown. Victory Christian goes 3 and out on their next possession, but a 4th down mistake there would cost them 2 points. There is a safety, so the Titans go up 2-0. Their spirits, though, did not go down. Very next possession, Sean Trawick breaks a pair of tackles, takes the handoff to the house, 65 yards, and he's gone. Puts the Lions up 7-2. Later in the first quarter, Holy Spirit on the move. Handoff to Chase Lake. Looks to find some running room, but watch this hit there by Kyle Robertson. Looks to be in midseason form there. Big number 42 coming up with a big play. Second quarter, it is Lake once again, but the Lions defense keeps them out of the end zone. They would actually create a turnover on downs on this possession. A low-scoring game while TV 24 was there, but they turn up the juices when we were gone. Victory Christian gets their 2nd win in the last 4 seasons, and take a look at that score, John. 49-18 over Holy Spirit, who's a 2A school. Victory Christian under Coach Mark Sanders, looking good in game 1.
Gerhard, Coach Sanders really impressive. How many guys in their first game ever as a head football coach see their team score 49 points? Really impressive and really a good sign for Victory Christian. You know, they were in 2A the last couple of years, and they were in a region with Welborn and Ranburn and Woodland, and now they're down into a region where they've got schools that are closer to their own size. Holy Spirit, not a region game, but that's a school they better can compete with. And, well, they were very impressive tonight. A 31-point victory down at Richard Adams Stadium.
Yeah, and they did it in a variety of ways. You saw Kyle Robertson on defense, and you also saw Sean Trawick on the offensive side. So two names to look out for. And I'm telling you what, that crowd was supporting them big time. They've fallen on some hard times when it comes to football. Obviously, they went 0 for the season in 2010, 2011, 2012, won one game last year. So we'll see how they improve as Coach Sanders brings them along.
Well, you started off at the Eden exit in the Eden area of Pell City, but then you came up I-20 to the 231 main exit, went into downtown Pell City. I'm sure a big crowd tonight at Pete Rich Alumni Stadium for a big matchup tonight between Pell City and Walker, two tradition-rich programs kicking things off for real tonight in PC.
Your assumptions are absolutely correct. A packed house tonight over there at Pete Rich Alumni Stadium. Take a look at the highlights brought to you by F&M Bank. Take a look here at Pete Rich. Packed house today. Not a seat in the place. Brooks Dampier back for his second season with the Panthers. A defensive battle in the first half. We're tied at 0 when I get there in the third quarter. First possession of the second half. Pell City looking for the home run. Hudson Hughes to Devin Mitchell just off the fingertips there. Walker would get the ball back, but on that ensuing possession, quarterback William Holiday looking for some space to throw, but great backside pursuit here by Alexander Chiltree, forcing a Viking punt, and the special teams unit for Pell City would come up big on the very next play. Jonathan Spears would take the football, race it down the sidelines, and takes it 65 yards all the way inside the 10-yard line. But hang on just 1 second. We have a block in the back that brings this one back. That possession yields no points. Walker's next possession, handoff goes to Martin Oliver, picks up 15 yards and a first down there. Very next play, the read option executed to perfection by quarterback William Holiday. 25 yards for the touchdown, breaking the scoreless tie. Vikings go up 6-0. But on the ensuing kickoff, you remember the guy named Jonathan Spears who had a punt return that was called back? Well, he gets some vindication on this play right here. Kickoff return, gets some great blocking by his Panther buddies. He is gone to the house, and that puts Pell City on the board for the first time in 2014. Great play for him. Coach Dampier elects to go for 2, and they get it. 8-7 was your score there. A last-second field goal by Pell City would be the difference, as the students love it. 17-14, Pell City goes up and wins that ball game today. Walker won, obviously, both those meetings, as the graphic denotes there. 96-97. Pell City gets their revenge tonight.
Gerhard, on opening night last year, Walker in an ugly brawl with Coleman up in Jasper. So tonight, to ensure that that did not happen at Pell City, we sent the enforcer, Gerhard Mathangani, down there. And Gerhard, you did a good job of keeping the order tonight down at Pell City. Yeah, cooler has prevailed tonight. And it was one of those situations last year. It was one of those ugly situations you don't want to see. But they can serve as good teaching moments. And it sounds like it did between Walker and Coleman. We'll see how they played out. Walker, obviously, today lost in a heated battle. So far, from everything we know, everything stayed calm there today. So, John, I'm doing extra work here for Pigskin Roundup, trying to calm some nerves down there at Pell City. And Pell City, of course, in that great 6A Region 3, a lot of tough teams in there. Oxford, Pell City, Opelika, Benjamin Russell. Right. It's going to be a great region race. Pell City getting off to a good start in that. Good work tonight. Gerhard down on I-20 in the Pell City metro area tonight. You bet. Gerhard with Gerhard's Games, presented by F&M Bank. When we come back, more of the Pigskin Roundup. We're with you all the way until 12 midnight here on TV 24.
It is time to take America back. Vote straight Republican ticket in November and support our local candidates. Commissioner J.D. Hess, District 4 Commissioner, Carolyn Henderson for Revenue Commissioner, and Sheriff Larry Amerson for Calhoun County Sheriff.
Hyundai of Gadsden is a short drive from anywhere and worth it. You'll save thousands on a new Hyundai Sonata, Elantra, or Santa Fe. 10-year, 100,000-mile limited powertrain warranty and Hyundai Assurance are standard. HyundaiofGadsden.com, your Team 1 automotive dealer.
Baker Piano and Music Company, in our 53rd year of service to you. Baker Piano and Music continues its tradition of excellent service and affordable prices. Baker stocks a wide variety of new and used upright and grand pianos. Find a large selection of electronic keyboards, guitars, and amps. Also take piano and guitar lessons. Baker Piano and Music, 211 Broad Street in downtown Gadsden. Call 256-546-4038. Find us on Facebook or visit GeraldBakerMusic.com.
When it comes to the financing of your home, experience counts. At Jackson Mortgage Company, put that experience to work for you. There's a reason homeowners across East Alabama have chosen Jackson Mortgage Company since 1994. Jackson Mortgage Company is a full-service mortgage company offering VA, FHA, and conventional financing with competitive rates. Let Jackson Mortgage Company put their experience to work for you. And you remember, if you need a home loan, call my daddy.
It is time to take America back. Vote straight Republican ticket in November and support our local candidates. Commissioner J.D. Hess, District 4 Commissioner, Carolyn Henderson for Revenue Commissioner, and Sheriff Larry Amerson for Calhoun County Sheriff.
The all-new Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram of Gadsden with one of Alabama's best selections. This is Ram Country and Jeep Headquarters, and service second to none. Click on GadsdenChryslerDodge.com, your Team 1 automotive dealer.
High school football season is back, and so is the Pigskin Roundup magazine, and it's absolutely free. Compliments of Sunny King Honda. This year's cover story profiles the relationship between two of the best linemen in Etowah County history in Southside's Tyler Carr and his position coach, Larry Rose. Plus, previews and schedules of all the teams in the TV24 viewing area. Pick up your free copy of the Pigskin Roundup magazine at your neighborhood KFC, Samco convenience stores, Jack's, Grub Mart, and Dad's Barbecue. And welcome back into the Pigskin Roundup on TV24, presented by Superior Hyundai. John Holder, Mickey Shadricks, our entire Pigskin Roundup team with you on a football Friday night. And right now, let's look at all the scores from games across East Alabama as we go to our ERA King Real Estate scoreboard. Last night, Oxford over Southside, 42-21. Also tonight, it was Ohatchee beating Southeastern 37-0. Jacksonville, a winner over Alexandria. Highlights of that game in just a moment here on the Roundup. They beat the number 9 team in 5A, Alexandria, 27-19. A hard loss tonight for Jacksonville Christian, outscored by Shades Mountain Christian 42-34. Central Clay County, they win tonight over Munford. That score was 10-7. That will be our Talladega Ford game of the week. That highlight is coming up as well. Sylacauga beating Chilton County 28-27. Last night, Reeltown beat Childersburg 21-13. A couple of new scores coming in. ASD tonight wins their opener over Waterloo 38-24, and Talladega beats Talladega County Central tonight 21-6. Pell City, as you saw, beating Walker 17-14. Victory Christian over Holy Spirit 49-18. Hamilton tonight, a winner over Moody. That game moved from Thursday to tonight, 14-10. Big win for Gadsden City. Double overtime tonight in Auburn at Duck Sanford Stadium. Gadsden City beating Auburn 34-28 in double overtime. Northridge beats Etowah 16-14. Pickens County, a winner over Addison 26-23. Thomasville beats Sweetwater 24-6. Dale County over Trinity Presbyterian 48-12. T.R. Miller tonight beating Andalusia 38-15. And Leeds, Morgan Costin nails a 27-yard field goal as time expires as Leeds gets revenge. They lost to Madison Academy in the 3A championship game last year. Tonight on ESPNU in Madison, they beat Madison Academy 27-24 on the last play of the game, and that breaks a 25-game win streak by the Madison Academy Mustangs. Viger and Blunt, we understand that game moved to tomorrow night down in Pritchard. Tonight, Shades Valley beat Florence 37-35, and tomorrow, number 7 versus number 8 in the country at the Hoover Met, Hoover and Miami Central of Florida. Mickey, we were out last night at Barney Hood Stadium in Southside. My crew out tonight in Jacksonville. It was equally hot and humid at Golden Eagle Stadium. And another great football game. Two big rivals. The only game tonight played in Calhoun County, Jacksonville and Alexandria.
Yeah, John, not a bad first week matchup at all. Our Superior Hyundai highlights were on hand at Golden Eagle Stadium, as John said, for a great matchup between the Alexandria Valley Cubs and the homestanding Jacksonville Golden Eagles. Now we pick up the highlights in the first quarter. Alexandria would strike first, 3-yard touchdown run by Jacob Heathcock. Valley Cubs go up on the homestanding Eagles by a score of 7-0. Valley Cubs on offense again. Quarterback Luke Tucker finds Chase Smitherman open, 16-yard pass play. Then a couple of plays later, the give up the middle to Austin Wells. 32-yard gainer and a first down for the Valley Cubs. And then on the next play of the drive, Alexandria would punch it in again, and it's Heathcock again. 5 yards out. Valley Cubs miss the extra point, but they go up 13-0. Jacksonville needing a spark, and they get it here. Check out this play card by Coach Clint Smith and his offensive staff. John, a full brunette in that picture. Anyway, it must work. Check out the screen pass here. Sid Thurman makes the catch, reverses his field, picks up 16 yards. Then the Golden Eagles would cap off the drive with this short touchdown run by Tay Ackles, cutting the Alexandria lead to 13-7. And I got to show this again. I mean, what does this mean? Is this John and his hero Ron Burgundy there together? I mean,
it means John and Superman. That's what.
Hey, a key special teams play coming up right here. 28 seconds left in the half. Alexandria punting. It's blocked, and Jacksonville's Nadell Archie would return it for a touchdown. Jacksonville takes its first lead of the night at 14-13. Huge play there. Golden Eagles on offense again, and they would add to their lead. Sid Thurman on the sweep. He would take it in around the right side for the touchdown. Golden Eagles now up 21-13. And the Jacksonville fans in attendance getting their hands on those Cleghorn Pigskin Roundup seat cushions. Valley Cubs would bounce back with a nice drive, capped off by this touchdown run by Keenan Woodruff. Try for two, no good. Jacksonville's lead cut to 2 at 21-19. But Jacksonville would go on and win the game at home tonight by a final score of 27-19. Huge win at home for the Golden Eagles. Now, Jacksonville fans were treated to a great halftime performance tonight by the Jacksonville Band, and our very own John Holder explains a little more.
Twirler for the Jacksonville Band, Madison Burrell. You saw Madison twirling fire and twirling, what, knives and swords? Yeah. How long have you been doing this?
I've been twirling since I was 7 years old.
And have you ever burned yourself or cut yourself?
I've burned myself once, but never cut myself.
That was enough. What prompted you to start trying? Most batons, that's hard enough, but what prompted you to twirl stuff like this?
Being featured, it's not an easy thing. I wanted to go big or go home this time.
Well, you did a great job. What does everybody say to you about twirling fire and twirling knives like this?
Most of my friends think it's pretty awesome, but I just think it's something pretty neat that I've just kind of caught on to.
Good job.
Very talented young lady there, you know, blades and fire, and John Holder on a play card with Ron Burgundy. I mean, what a night at Jacksonville tonight.
Hey, I'll tell you, anybody.
You've arrived now, John. You've made it on the card.
Coach Clint Smith called me over before the game started, and he said, we got a surprise for you over on the sideline. So that's apparently what the surprise was that Coach Smith was talking about. And any young lady that can twirl fire and knives and only be burned one time, that's pretty impressive in my book. You know, last night over at Southside, we're bringing back our pigskin poll. And, you know, we've got a question every week that we ask fans out at the stadium. So our question last night was, we wanted to know out at Southside from the Southside fans, what is the meaning of smoke neck? Where did that name come from? You hear us all the time on Pigskin Roundup talking about smoke neck tech, smoke neck boys, and all of that. So we wanted to ask with our pigskin poll question, where that came from, the name Smoke Neck Tech. Here's the answers that we got, and there's a lot of different answers from the folks at Southside.
I don't remember from you telling it last year. Smoke Neck Holler? I remember you saying something about that from last year.
I imagine it's got to do something with smoke, and it would be, I'm trying to think about the barbecue guy. What was his name that used to live down here in the 50s? I don't know.
From what I was told years and years ago, when people would come across to the other side of the river in Rainbow City, and they'd look back across this pretty flat place over here, and you could see where the homesteads were and see the smoke coming up from the chimneys. And there was not a whole lot of smoke, but apparently enough that they called them smoke necks.
Well, I'm not sure of where the name came from, but I know that Southside is a wonderful community. We are very close-knit family of Southside, and we all love each other and love our football team. We love our schools. Go Panthers! Woo!
I think smoke neck
the name came from, we used to have a smokestack that was around where the high school is now, or it was across the street where the Panther Pit used to be, which used to be an old restaurant where everybody would go and eat. But there used to be a smokestack, and that's how they used to say we are called Smoke Neck Tech.
Smoke Neck came out of a barber shop. Back in the older days, farmers worked out in the field all day, and they would tie a scarf or handkerchief or some type of towel around their necks, keep from getting blistered. And then they'd go to a barber shop and get a haircut, and their necks would be white. And it was said they looked like firemen with the smoked up neck, so that's where Smoke Neck came from.
I'll tell you, I grew up in this community, John, and a long time ago, this was more of a farming community and everything, and a lot of the people that attended here were farmers, and sort of like the old term redneck, and they got that from farming because they'd wear the overalls and the long white sleeve shirts, and the necks were always red, But where the smoke part of it came from, I'm not real sure, but it's been around as long as I've been around, and I've been around since I wore leather helmet, so you know that, John. We go way, way back.
Well, if Harry Dennis there doesn't know what the answer is, then I'm not sure anybody knows the answer tonight. Our ERA King Real Estate Pigskin Poll. A lot of answers. Take your choice, and I think you'll probably be correct.
What gets me is everybody's so confident. Everybody thinks they've got the answer.
Yeah, that's the way to be. If you're going to give an answer and to give it on television, be confident. All right, now time for our Anniston Orthopedics Extra Point, our next one of the night, presented by the fine folks at Anniston Orthopedics. And here is our next Extra Point. Defending 6A champion Hoover owns the state's longest current winning streak. The Buccaneers have won 30 consecutive games heading into the 2014 season. The last Hoover loss was on December 2nd, 2011 to Prattville in the 6A state championship game in Tuscaloosa. Our Talladega Ford Game of the Week with Chad Barnett and Gaston head football coach Swain Morris still to come on the Pigskin Roundup.
It is time to take America back. Vote straight Republican ticket in November and support our local candidates. Commissioner J.D. Hess, District 4 Commissioner, Carolyn Henderson for Revenue Commissioner, and Sheriff Larry Amerson for Calhoun County Sheriff.
When it's time to buy your teen's first vehicle, you think safety. Your teen thinks style. At Talladega Ford, we have style and safety. Ford has more 5-star safety-rated vehicles than any other car manufacturer. Ford goes that extra mile to make sure you are safe. Government safety standards are based on a 30-mile-per-hour crash. Ford goes a little further. We test our cars at 35 miles per hour. Come by Talladega Ford today so we can show you how safety and style go hand in hand.
Jack's made from scratch hand-breaded chicken finger platters are perfect for your tailgate party. And here's something else you'll really be a big fan of. Now you can skip the line and order online. Just visit eatatjacks.com and order up some fan fuel today. And make your tailgate party matter with Jack's chicken finger platters.
We'll go back to Jack for more.
When you play hard, the bumps and bruises of life happen. Anniston Orthopedic Associates is ready to help with your Friday night sports-related injuries. Starting at 8 a.m. every Saturday morning in the Tyler Center, Anniston Orthopedic Associates has 8 orthopedic surgeons and a team of 5 physical therapists who focus on healing broken bones, osteoarthritis, joint replacement, as well as work-related injuries and all other orthopedic conditions. We are located in the Tyler Center in Anniston. Anniston Orthopedics. We're with you in the race of life.
It is time to take America back. Vote straight Republican ticket in November and support our local candidates. Commissioner J.D. Hess, District 4 Commissioner, Carolyn Henderson for Revenue Commissioner, and Sheriff Larry Amerson for Calhoun County Sheriff.
The Honda Summer Clearance event is going on right now at Sunny King Honda with interest rates as low as 0.9% for 60 months on Accords, Civics, and CRVs. And also take a look at these great lease specials. Lease a 14 Civic LX 4-door automatic for only $139 a month. Lease a 14 Accord LX 4-door automatic for only $189 a month. Sunny King Honda, exit 188 off Interstate 20, where customer satisfaction is king.
Hi, I'm Coach Morris of the Gaston Bulldogs, and you're watching the Pigskin Roundup right here on TV 24.
And welcome back into the Pigskin Roundup on TV 24, presented by Superior Hyundai. And we have got a lot to do in the next, we may go to overtime tonight here on the Pigskin Roundup. We have got so much coming up here on the Roundup, and we're going to go right now to Chad Barnett. He is in from Munford tonight. He was there for our Game of the Week. Chad, a great matchup in our Talladega Ford Game of the Week tonight. A team that was in the 4A semifinals last year in Munford, taking on a team that was in the 4A quarterfinals last year in Central of Clay County. Central moves up to 5A this year. Two really good football teams again, and apparently a great game again tonight down at Munford. Chad, tell us all about Munford and Central of Clay. All right, we got a little microphone problem there. We'll get that fixed in just a second and take you back. But no doubt about it, great game tonight down there between Munford and Central of Clay County. Packed house down at Munford at the stadium. You know, Munford lost Monteo Garrett, Tavon Lawson, two great players, but had some great players that really showed up in the Spring Gridiron Classic that we had here on TV 24 when they had an impressive win against Bibb County. And they were had a great summer as we came back to that and had them taking on, as we said, Bibb County. Great summer, getting ready for this opener against Central of Clay County. Central of Clay County, of course, moving up to 5A for the first time. We expected that several years ago. When they first started the school, it was kind of inevitable that at one time that they would move from 4A to 5A. And indeed, with the reclassification coming up in the last go-around back in January, the numbers came out. No surprise. We had Central of Clay County moving up from Class 4A to Class 5A. So they're not region opponents, and so we had them basically playing in a non-region game to kick off the season tonight. So that was the matchup between Munford and Central of Clay County tonight. And so we'll get the technical problems worked out, and we'll come back, and we'll have our Game of the Week coverage coming up on Munford and Central of Clay County as the Pigskin Roundup rolls on a football Friday night. Back in a moment.
It's the kickoff to savings sales event at Buster Mall Chevrolet in Heflin. With prices this low, the game plan is simple: to save you thousands. All new 2014 and 15 Chevrolets in stock are priced $595 below invoice. Plus you keep all the rebates. Silverados, Impalas, Cruze, Equinox, Malibus, Tahoes, and Sonic, all priced $595 below invoice. Plus you keep all the rebates. Don't miss the kickoff to savings sales event at Buster Mall Chevrolet in Heflin, I-20 exit 199.
It is time to take America back. Vote straight Republican ticket in November and support our local candidates. Commissioner J.D. Hess, District 4 Commissioner, Carolyn Henderson for Revenue Commissioner, and Sheriff Larry Amerson for Calhoun County Sheriff.
Downey Drug, serving Calhoun County for 4 decades. Recently voted the best pharmacy in Calhoun County. We emphasize personal service, answering your questions, filling your prescriptions in minutes, not hours. Being locally owned and operated, your money stays in your community. Our prices have been compared to all area pharmacies, and once again, we win. Isn't it time you experience the best pharmacy in Calhoun County? Downey Drug, Welborn Plaza, Alexandria.
College is where you go to get ready for your future. It's where you go to be with your friends. The question is, where do you go to find a college that offers an affordable education close to home? Training that will ensure you make good money in a career you will love. Classes start soon, so go to GadsdenState.edu today.
I go to Gadsden State.
I go to Gadsden State.
Gadsden State, it's where I go.
It is time to take America back. Vote straight Republican ticket in November and support our local candidates. Commissioner J.D. Hess, District 4 Commissioner, Carolyn Henderson for Revenue Commissioner, and Sheriff Larry Amerson for Calhoun County Sheriff.
All right, come on in. You're trying the Pepsi Challenge with us today?
Yes. You just tell us which side you like better. Okay. I like that one better. You like that side better? The Pepsi side.
Who wants to try the Pepsi Challenge? Come on over. Is maybe this side better?
That is a Pepsi. Pepsi.
And you're from Atlanta?
I'm from Atlanta.
You're going to go home and spread the word that...
You're going to go home and hide. Pepsi tastes better.
I'm Coach Jason Howard of the Spring Garden Panthers, and you're watching the Pigskin Roundup right here on TV 24.
Back on the Pigskin Roundup on TV 24, John Holder, Mickey Shadrick's our entire outstanding Pigskin Roundup team, and we got the problems worked out, and now we go to Chad Barnett with our Talladega Ford Game of the Week. We talked all about Munford and Central Clay County, so let's get into the highlights, Chad.
Yeah, it's a matchup really that was started a couple of years ago whenever Clay Central started up, and really in the first couple of years the Vols have had their way with the Lions, but tonight different stories. We head out to Munford for the first game of the 2014 season. Both teams expected to have pretty good seasons again this year. We'll have to wait and see how this one started out. Central Clay, though, they had a great running game coming into this contest. Really, they have the last couple of years. JoJo Staples is the man. He wears a C on the back of his helmet. Means he's the captain, but check out the play by Cameron Turner, running him down at the 3-yard line. Could have given up on it. That would have been an easy touchdown for Clay Central, but it's not. They would actually stiffen and they would force a field goal, so it's 3-0. Clay Central is on top. Will Wagner hoping that things can loosen up just a little bit, but his offense would turn it over, and again, back to the ground game for the Vols. That is Malik Derrick, 22 yards out, still in the first quarter. 10-0 Central Clay. Looks like they're going to run away with it. But Brett Haney, the new quarterback for the Lions, steps in, makes a nice pass to Chapman down for about a 30-yard gain. Lions are in business, but they would stall. About a 30-yard field goal is going to be wide right, so still 10-0 is your score. Those would be 3 big points Munford would need later on in this game. Later, first half, again, Haney trying to get something going, completes the pass down to the 30-yard line, but this one would not go. It's a 4th down pass to Quantavious Elston. Incomplete pass, so we go to the second half. Chris Aaron looking on. This is team still with a 10-0 advantage, and then they go to the big guy. Jalen Lyles. Stiff running here from the senior running back. Goes left side about 26 yards, and he would not be done on this drive. 2 plays later, more tough running from the senior. Going to be playing on Saturdays. He's on a Friday night this time, though. First down and 10 for the Central Clay Vols. But Munford, again, that defense was huge tonight for them. Big pass breakup on a 4th down. Austin Stevens keeps Munford alive, still 10-0. Can their offense get something going? 4th and 2. They were 0 for 4 on 4th downs in the first half. Not on this drive, though, here. Rocky Smith gets the first down, and then Haney going to work for the end zone. It's going to be a pass interference. So 1st and 10 at the 10. It's actually 1st and goal, really. Haney, though, this time finds the touchdown. Chapman in there for 6. Extra point ensuing to make it a 1-possession game. Splits the uprights, and we got a 10-7 ball game. Now they're about 4 minutes to go. Munford needs a big stand. First play, so far so good. That was Staples. This is Lyles. He's stuffed. Coach Firestone trying to draw up one more play for the defense, and they would get it. Incomplete pass, so Munford's in business. Got about 3 minutes to go. Can they drive the length of the field? They've got the momentum on their back. Haney finding his rhythm late in the game. Goes to the man that's been money all game for him. But Chapman can't hang on to this one. Central Clay on the loose ball. And who's the man who would come up with it? It's the man with the C on the back of his head, y'all. JoJo Staples picks it up. Central Clay burns the clock and wins this one.
We made way too many mistakes on offense. We had 3 turnovers. We had the plays we didn't get lined up right. We didn't run the right play. Just total lack of execution. Which, it's August 22nd. This is a week earlier than usual, so you gotta expect some of that stuff. But the fumbles, that's one thing that we don't fumble in football. I think we had 3 fumbles all last year, and we had 3 tonight.
I think both defensive fronts were very good. We didn't have a lot of success running the football. They didn't have much success running the football, and that goes back to those front guys. And if it starts there and those guys do well, it makes it hard on an offense. For a long time in Clay County, defense is kind of been the name of the game. And again tonight, it came through for us. They made a heck of a drive. About 70 or 80 yards to make it 10-7. And, we get the ball back, and we're unable to grind out anything on offense or get anything. And they get the ball back, with about 4 minutes or so left, and our defense comes through and makes a play and was able to hold them out there.
So that is your final score tonight. Central Clay moves to 1-0 on the season, John. 10-7 in a defensive battle. Good contest down there in Mumford tonight.
A great game tonight. I think we made a good selection on our game of the week for this week. We didn't have a lot to choose from, but I think that was a good selection. You know, a lot of the Munford fans, I talked with a lot of them in the spring and the summer, and they were asking me, hey, what do you think about Munford? We lost Monteo Garrett. We lost Tavon Lawson, 2 Pigskin Roundup All-Stars, and there were some question marks. But, you know, we both saw them in the spring, and that game I referenced against Bibb County up at Jack State at the Gridiron Classic. And, you know, I really felt like Munford was going to be okay. And, you know, I think they showed tonight, Chad, you saw it firsthand, that Munford's going to be to deal with. They're not going away.
Yeah, they've got a great receiver in Chapman. They got some good stable of running backs, and I think the thing that everybody wanted to know was how they were going to replace Monteo Garrett. And I know they're probably tired of talking about it inside the town or city limits of Mumford, but I think Brett Haney's going to be fine. He's really performed well in the spring and then the summer. You could tell there was a little bit of maybe first game jitters there a little bit tonight. They were a little bit out of sync there in that first half. Cost him a couple drives, but I think as the game wore on, you saw him getting a little bit more comfortable, completed some passes, led the big drive down in the fourth quarter. So as he progresses and gets more comfortable in the game lights, I think that they're going to be just fine. And defensively speaking, I think that's really where they're going to wear their hat. I mean, they are really, really strong on the defensive side, and that's a big, I guess, key to what Coach Firestone's built over these last couple of years on defense.
You know, Chad, you mentioned earlier about the last 2 years, Central Clay and Munford playing the regular season, and you mentioned it and you said it, that Central Clay's kind of had their way with Munford. And I think the Central Clay game has kind of been a measuring stick for this Munford program. Judging from what we saw tonight down at Munford, Munford's got to feel like that this program, I think, has arrived. We saw that last year making the semifinals, but I think they proved tonight with this showing against Central Clay that they are not a one-hit wonder. I think the program said, I think we're going to see a lot of good things out of Munford, not only this season but the years to come. Really an impressive performance tonight, especially defensively, as you mentioned, by Munford.
Well, I think that they saw two of probably the best athletes that they're going to see on one side of the football tonight with JoJo Staples and also Jalen Lyles, 2 outstanding athletes for Central Clay, and they pretty much kept them in check in the entire contest. Jalen Lyles had a couple good runs there in the second half to kind of bolster a run or a drive, but they were able to stiffen up, and they were able to keep those 2 guys bottled up for the most part. Holding that offense to just 10 points is very, very good work for them. They got a lot of size, Central Clay does, on the offensive line side, so their effort against that team tonight certainly will bode well as they go into their regular season schedule and they face teams that won't have that size or that speed that Central Clay does.
Chad, the Central Clay broadcast team actually dropped by the studio and visited with us a little bit earlier tonight after the game. Tommy Wood and Jeff Colburn, they've been telling me over the summer that it's kind of the same old with Central Clay. They've got an outstanding defense again, and we saw evidence of that again tonight. Defense, the name of the game. Coach Aaron says, hey, that's where we begin. That's where we put our best athletes. That's the emphasis, and you could tell that tonight once again.
Well, Will Wagnon's offenses, since he got to Mumford, have been pretty vital. They've been one of the main reasons why they've been able to make this run they have over the last few years. And he got this job based on what he did at Cherokee County, and his offense is there. So offensively speaking, he's never really had problems. So, you know, whenever their team goes up against Central Clay tonight and they only put up 7, I think it's part of the fact that, you know, they got a first start at a quarterback, and then also that defense is just really big and really good and really fast, and I think that's something Mumford saw firsthand tonight.
Chad, before we let you go, let's look ahead to next week with these 2 teams, because I think they both did apparently a very good job tonight of not looking ahead, and it would have been easy to look ahead considering who's on the schedule next week, because Munford's got Cleburne County. They've had 2 great games within over the last couple of years, a big rival game, and then of course Central Clay back at home next week with Benjamin Russell, coached by a guy named Danny Horn coming back to town. 2 big games for these 2 teams next week as well.
Yeah, I think the Central Clay, that's one that everybody wanted to see. Everybody thought, you know, Danny Horn may be getting that Central Clay, or that would be something that he would be in line for. But he's done a good job. Ben Russell over the last, I think he's been there about 5 years now, maybe 6. And Chris Aaron and company, I'm pretty sure they're going to be excited about that one. But that was the best game last year I saw was Mumford and Cleveland County. It'd be good to see them two head-to-head again.
Chad, next week we'll go ahead and announce our Talladega Ford Game of the Week next week, especially after the performances we saw last night from Oxford against Southside and tonight with Gadsden City beating Auburn down at Auburn 34-28 in double overtime. Next week at Titan Stadium, Gadsden City and the Oxford Yellow Jackets. That will be our Talladega Ford Game of the Week. That's where you'll be next Friday night.
I like the first two picks.
That is going to be a fantastic game. A lot of big crowd, a lot on the line next week between the Yellow Jackets and the Titans. Chad, great job tonight down at Munford.
Thanks, John.
Our Talladega Ford Game of the Week with Chad Barnett. Hey, when we come back, folks, we've got the head football coach of the Gaston Bulldogs. He's got some players with him as well. Swain Morris joins us live on the Pigskin Roundup as we near the midnight hour. Time for our final Anniston Orthopedics. I almost said, did you know? But it's extra point this year. Class 5A SR Butler of Huntsville has the state's current longest losing streak. The Rebels enter the 2014 season with 38 straight losses. Butler's last win on the field, a 50-35 victory over DAR back on September 3rd, 2010. We talk Gaston football with Swain Morris next on the Pigskin Roundup.
Embracing change is key to success in today's world. With this in mind, we are introducing a clean, new...
It is time to take America back. Vote straight Republican ticket in November and support our local candidates. Commissioner J.D. Hess, District 4 Commissioner, Caroline Henderson for Revenue Commissioner, and Sheriff Larry Amerson for Calhoun County Sheriff.
Hey folks, this is George Brunner with Superior Hyundai. The 2015s are on the lot, and regardless of profit or loss, the 2014s gotta go. Superior Hyundai offers special military discounts, special first responder discounts, and special educator discounts as a way for us to say thanks for your service. And we offer a first-time buyers program and a fresh start program that helps good people with bad credit. So our goal is 100% credit approval. Plus Hyundai Assurance and America's Best Warranty, 10 years, 100,000 miles. So drive happy at Superior Hyundai in Anniston, Alabama.
Looking for the ultimate recreation and fitness facility? Then check out the Aquatic and Fitness Center at the Anniston Sports Complex at McClellan. The Aquatic and Fitness Center has it all. The center is over 48,000 square feet and features a state-of-the-art natatorium, as well as a fitness room with a complete circuit of station machines, free weights, and cardio equipment. The center is home to the Miller Gymnasium with a full-length basketball court. You'll also enjoy the full menu of fitness classes. The Aquatic and Fitness Center, Calhoun County's recreation destination.
At KFC, we make the world's best chicken using the same original recipe since 1940. It's a very special process. We dip it and shake it 7 times. We hand bread it 7 times. We rock it 7 times. Now you may be wondering, why all the 7s? Because it's a lucky number? Jackpot.
It is time to take America back. Vote straight Republican ticket in November and support our local candidates. Commissioner J.D. Hess, District 4 Commissioner, Caroline Henderson for Revenue Commissioner, and Sheriff Larry Amerson for Calhoun County Sheriff.
High school football season is back, and so is the Pigskin Roundup magazine, and it's absolutely free. Compliments of Sonny King Honda. This year's cover story profiles the relationship between two of the best linemen in Etowah County history in Southside's Tyler Carr and his position coach, Larry Rose. Plus previews and schedules of all the teams in the TV24 viewing area. Pick up your free copy of the Pigskin Roundup magazine at your neighborhood KFC, Samco Convenience Stores, Jack's, Grub Mart, and Dad's Barbecue. We approach the midnight hour here on the Pigskin Roundup presented by Superior Hyundai, and we have some exciting news for you folks. We are going overtime tonight. We had planned to have a midnight show, but we got so much football going on in this first week that we're going to our customary 12:30. So we're going to go all the way until 12:30 tonight. So still another half hour plus of the Pigskin Roundup. Don't forget, we will be naming our KFC Pigskin Roundup and also our Jackson Mortgage Team of the Week we'll have that coming up toward the end of the show. But right now, we're going to speak about Gaston football. The head coach of the Gaston Bulldogs, Swain Morris, is with us live in the studio. Coach Morris, welcome in. We have not had a chance to have you on Pigskin since you came back to Gaston, so glad to have you with us back on the Roundup.
Well, it's nice to be here. Nice to be in the new digs here, and so.
Yeah, that's right. The last time you were with us, we were back up in Jacksonville. Right. Then you went off to Scottsboro for a couple of years, and now you're back at Gaston, and things are going very well for the Bulldogs. A great turnaround season last year. Yeah. You took the Bulldogs from 0-10 to a 7-4 season last year, made the state playoffs again, and I guess we could say Gaston football is back.
Well, that was our purpose, you know, to make sure, you know, to get the rival back to where it was before, you know, where the crowds are there, where the kids are excited about things, you know, seeing that work progresses into good things on the field.
Well, tonight you did not play a regular season game. You had a jamboree game with Coosa Christian tonight. You were very successful in that game and didn't get anybody hurt. That's what we were talking about during the break. You got no one hurt. But just tell us what you saw in the jamboree. The first time to see these guys this year, kind of in game conditions.
It was a good thing the way we play it. We usually start with the young guys playing where you can play a lot of people, and then we finish up with the older guys, and we really, you saw some of the haven't played a game yet, you know, and then the second half we come out and we really played well, and I just watched the team grow as the night went on, and I was very pleased with that from that standpoint, you know, because you just being able to make those strides, you know, to go into halftime and to understand, okay, now let's turn up our gears the way we should, and they did a good job with it.
Well, you didn't exactly schedule the easiest opening opponent for the real game next week, as you'll go down to Joan Ford Stadium in Raglan to take on a Raglan team that has got a lot of returnees back off a team that went to the quarterfinals in 1A last year, gave the eventual state champion Pickens County all they wanted. They've got a solid program, have for a lot of years, and this will be, I think, in my mind, one of the best small school matchups in the state next week, Raglan and Gaston.
Yeah, and I think so. And you know, Coach Nixon and I know each other well, and so I respect the job he's done down there, and you know, Brian Mintz had started down there and turned things back to where they were, and then Coach Nix has just kept them going and things going well, and so that's going to be something that we're going to really have to be ready to open the season up, you know, and to be able to take that type of game after the hour-long bus ride, you know, and I don't really like that, but, you know, it gets us ready for region play, because the next week we do the same thing. We go to section. So, you know, that's the reason you schedule these type games.
Well, we looked at some video of last year's game. We're seeing some highlights of the game against Pleasant Valley earlier. This is a game against Westbrook, I believe, and that Westbrook game last year seemed to really be the game, I thought, where you just kind of the lights came on and your guys really turned the corner, because Westbrook came in with a really good football team and you won the game 26-0. Am I on track there and thinking that was one of the highlights of the season last year?
That was a big game for us from the standpoint, you know, we had to get to that point where, you know, we knew it was pretty much you got to win that. There's no doubt that we had to win that to get in the playoffs due to some earlier losses, and so we turned things around, and I felt like that night our defense really stepped up. You know, of course we had a shutout, but to be able to do that in that situation, because we had struggled in some coverage areas earlier in the year, and so to play a team that is as good a spread offense as they do, as Coach Osborne and them do over there, you know, they're going to throw it. And so, and we did a good job with that, and that just sort of propelled our team right there to finish up.
We saw in the coaching biographic just a few moments ago some of your stats and so forth, and I think not really a stat, but one of the most important things that we showed there was Swain Morris, graduate, Gaston High School in 1987. It's a special place for you, and how special was it to come back home the second time this time?
You know, the second time coming back, you know, people say, you know, they say, well, you left, and I said, well, I suffered that temporary insanity, and then I came back. But, you know, it was one of those things at the time I thought it was a good decision for my family, and I realized pretty much soon after I made it, it was not a right decision, and to get to come back, and like one of my coaches who, it's funny, I could almost bust out an alumni game with my coaching staff now, and they're basically everybody I coached, and just looking at those guys, you know, and one of them said, look at the stands, you know, how's that feel? And I said, I still get chills when I look at that, because I see the people know what Gaston football means, and you know, and knows what it means in the community. You know, I love stopping in the the place there, you know, the local place where we get gas and buy snacks and stuff and get the 20 questions every morning, you know, how we going to be, what's this week. But that's just, you know, that's that sense of community pride that you love.
Your football team this year, you and I talked over the summer. You were telling me that really you got size and speed. You were telling me you didn't have anybody that would touch the ball this year that ran slower than you know, 4.840 or below. Right. And you also told me that this was probably some of the biggest size that you've had at Gaston. So it sounds like you got size and speed this year.
You know, we've got some good things. Now we've got to build experience, you know, and I mean, that's one of the big things we've got to do, because the experience factor, I thought, showed tonight. You know, we made some big plays and did some really good things, but I felt like at times we hadn't faced, you know, it's easy to practice against yourselves, you know, because you know what that guy's going to do after you've went against him for a week, but then all of a sudden it's somebody new. And so making those adjustments, in-game adjustments, that was what I was pleased with most tonight, because we've got to get experience, and we had to get it real quick because we got to go to Raglan next week.
This team, it strikes me as I talk with you about the numbers on this team, a lot of juniors. You got a really talented junior class, and I know you want to talk about seniors, and you got some players here tonight with you that we'll talk about in just a moment, but it seems like that this junior class is really maybe something special.
Well, we've got a good junior. It's really a great, we've got juniors and seniors, and the collection that we've got, there's good leaders in both classes. And you know, and that's a nice thing. You see it during practice. You see it. I saw it tonight during the game. I saw it after halftime. You know, and things where I see kids stepping up and doing things. You know, because the ultimate goal is to teach them to be young men, and learning that, you know, decisions you make, value working when it doesn't matter, you know, when somebody's not watching, those things, you know, giving effort on every play, things that you preach all the time that coaches say over and over to you, but to see them grasp that and take it to heart. And I've seen a lot of these juniors and seniors do that, and I'm very, very, you know, I guess pleased is the easiest word to come with, you know, because they've done a great job handling that.
This is my favorite part of Pigskin Roundup, is when coaches bring players in and we can put these players on television.
I would have brought more,
off.
but I just couldn't get all of them.
Well, hey, it's midnight.
Yeah.
Tell us about the two guys that you brought with you tonight to be with us here on the Pigskin Roundup.
I brought a senior and a junior. Okay. And you know, and they're great kids. Number 3 is Mitchell Smith. He's our, what we call our B back, and he does a good job. Mitchell was a starting Mike linebacker for us last year and played some B back in some different places for us on offense last year. But he's a big kid, works hard in the weight room, has done a great job. And standing next to him, looking pretty intelligent, I guess, because he's a quarterback. And so that's Jordan. And Jordan Douglas has done a great job for us over the few years. You know, he's been a quarterback his 9th grade year, his 10th grade year. You know, he started some his 9th grade year, and he started every game his 10th grade year. And then this year he's going to have that role again, because not just because he's done it before, but because he works to earn it. And the kids respect his leadership too.
These guys, just two of the, as you mentioned, great seniors and juniors have on the team, specifically these two guys. What do you see about these guys? You talked about their leadership. Athletically, what do these guys bring to the table?
Well, you know, Mitchell is he was on the 4x100 relay team that finished 2nd in the state.
There's your speed, yeah.
And, you know, and he had a big run, a couple big runs tonight, but he had one that he really, you know, when he hit the crease, it was just, you know, I call the extra point team. And then Jordan's got, he's got the physical attributes that you like. He can run the ball, he can throw it, but he's also got the head. You know, he's got the smarts, and he knows how to lead an offense. You know, we even had a play tonight that I was telling the coach on the way down here. He made a great decision on, because we were talking about, when you look up from the snap, if you see this coverage, then let's check it, and you know, an in-play check. You know, and he's able to do that, and so that's nice to have.
You got a tough Raglan team. That's a non-region game. And then region play coming. And, you know, I think in your region, you always have to start talking about Coach Benefield at Fife.
Yeah.
I mean, and from my understanding is, and you can chime in here, my understanding is that Five's loaded again. They just kind of reload up there, and Coach Benefield and his team, that'll be, I would imagine, your chief competition in the region.
You know, Five's there. Sections, Sections in that situation too, and that's our first region game. Where we've got to play a team that missed the playoffs last year, that was expecting to really make the playoffs last year. So they return a lot. They're returning about 8 on each side of the ball, and so that's going to be a big game for us because we got to start that one. I always preach win the next game you play, not the one 6 or 7 games down the road. But I understand what we're doing is talking about the season, and Five's there, and then Cleveland moved into the region, and Cleveland, got Coach Gillen's his son's at quarterback, and he does a great job there. So they're putting up some points, and so Collinsville moved into the region. They're a real athletic team. It's been a 1A power, and so there's a lot of teams in our region the thing about our region is you play every week. You got to. There's not one of those. I've been in regions before where there's 2 or 3 games you don't necessarily take off, but you realize that you can probably get the game in hand. Well, this region's not like that.
You have had a lot of deep playoff runs before at Gaston. Last year in the playoffs, first round game, ran to a very talented Lynette team on the road, really good. But you know what it takes, especially at Gaston, to make that deep playoff run. What are you looking for out of this team to get in the playoffs and then kind of make that run that you've made in the past at Gaston?
The big thing is just not being satisfied with what we did last week. Trying to achieve a little bit more in everything we do each week, whether it's in practice time, whether it's in weight room time, whether it's in game time, but just achieving a little bit more, doing a little bit more, and being a little more successful. And that success and that effort will breed. We talk all the time about you're on a staircase and you're trying to get to the top. Well, don't ever stand on the same one and don't take a step back. Let's keep going forward, and that's a big thing with those kids. They understand what I'm talking about, and they believe in it.
We're going to be watching you climb that ladder throughout the year.
We're going to work
here on the Pigskin Roundup. Just have a great season. We'll be keeping up with you throughout the entire year. Thank you for coming and bringing those players with us as well.
And we love the job y'all do. It's a great job, and love the digs here. Y'all got a great setup.
Coach, you're very kind. Swain Mars is the head football coach of the Gaston Bulldogs, kicking it off for real next Friday night on the road at Raglan. When we come back, more of the Pigskin Roundup as we roll till 12:30 here on TV 24.
Embracing change is key to success in today's world. With this in mind, we are introducing a clean, new, forward-moving logo. But one thing will never change, my dad's promise to do the right thing. We're at ERA King Real Estate.
Hey, Dad, what are all these people doing here?
They're here for a $1,000 below invoice special.
What happens to the rebates?
They keep the rebates.
That's easy, but there's got to be a catch.
There's no catch. It's $1,000 below invoice. You take the factory invoice, take $1,000 off of that, you keep the rebate. Okay, Brian, what is it you always say?
We've got your Nissan at Nissan of Gaston, $1,000 below invoice. 1701 Rainbow Drive. Online at nissanofgaston.com.
Mobile deposit from Family Savings Credit Union is simple. Download the app, snap a picture of your check, then tap Send to deposit it directly into your checking account. Visit FamilySavingsCU.com for all the benefits of mobile banking. Snap, send, done. Then you can get back to swimming, practicing, or just spending time with those you love. Family Savings Mobile Check Deposit. On with the fun.
What sets ERA King apart? Lead management technology and search engine optimization, virtual tours, curbside audio, enhanced listings with Trulia, Homes.com, and Realtor.com on every single listing. Yes, and rule number 1, just do the right thing.
This is a nice place. How much do you think this is going to cost us?
I have no idea. Surely they'll show us some options.
I wonder if we should have asked.
At K.L. Brown Memory Chapel, we believe creating a service to match your budget is the best service we can offer.
I thought for sure it was going to cost more.
I'm so glad we can afford what we want.
Hi, I'm Coach Brooks Tampier of the Pell City Panthers. You're watching Pigskin Roundup right here on TV 24.
And welcome back to the Pigskin Roundup on a football Friday night, and we have much more to come on the show, so make sure you stay with us. Right now, John Holder is standing by to introduce a brand new segment for you that we'll have each and every Friday night right here on the Pigskin Roundup. John, take it away.
Mickey, we are going to begin tonight with what we are calling our F&M Bank East Alabama Power Poll. Now, what we're going to do, you see numbers 1 through 5. Let me step over here, and you see right here numbers 6 through 10. What we're going to do, listen carefully, okay? We are going to rate, and this is subjective, this is totally my opinion basically, the top 10 teams in East Alabama regardless of classification. We'll update this every week. Now, let me just tell you, we're talking about power. So you might see a 3A or 4A team at number 1 or number 2. Does that mean that we think they can necessarily beat the 6A or 7A team? No, that's not what we're saying. We're taking into consideration strength of schedule, how powerful they are in their own classification, a lot of different factors that I put into this to come up with a power poll. So if you're sitting at home and we maybe have Piedmont at number 1 one week and Gadsden City at number 2, and you're thinking, well, John, do you think Piedmont could beat Gadsden City? I'm not necessarily saying that. What we're saying is we're looking at these are according to their classification and how they're doing and how badly they've been beating people in records and all that kind of stuff, strength of schedule, into coming up with this power post. So here it is, and this does take into consideration tonight's games. Let's go to our first ever East Alabama power poll presented by F&M Bank. Number 10, here we go. Right there, the Walter Welborn Panthers. They haven't played a game as of yet, but considering what they have coming back, with basically only losing about 5 players off of last year's team, moving up this year from 2A to 3A, we've got Walter Welborn at number 10. Number 9, we are looking at the Lincoln Golden Bears. Lincoln, again, a team that did not open up tonight. As a matter of fact, Lincoln and Welborn played each other tonight in a jamboree game. Didn't count out at the Hill at Walter Welborn. But Lincoln with a lot of great talent, Zay Caldwell, John Tavius Johnson, who committed to Auburn, Mario Howard at running back. Their coach is going to be there for the 2nd year in a row in Brad Wallace. That's something new at Lincoln. We think this is a very talented team. We got them at number 9 in our power poll. Number 8 in the power poll, the Etowah Blue Devils. I had them a little bit higher coming into tonight. They lost a tough game on the road in Tuscaloosa tonight to Northridge, bigger classification team. Tough game. Etowah led late. Northridge scored, won the game 16-14. So I dropped them a little bit, but I think Etowah is going to win a lot of football games in Class 5A, and I've got them in at number 8. Number 7, the Southside Crimson Panthers. Again, going into last night, had them a little bit higher. They lost last night to a very good Oxford team. So we've got Southside dropping just a little bit. I really think, though, that Southside will probably be consistently in this top 10 throughout the entire season. Now at number 6, the Glencoe Yellow Jackets, a team that, again, did not play a regular season game. They'll open up next Friday night playing at Plainview. But you know the story about Glencoe. Glencoe, basically a team with 15 seniors, a loaded senior class. This might be the best Glencoe team in maybe the last 40 years since they won that state championship back in 1973. So Glencoe coming in at number 6. Let's go over here now and look at the top 5. At number 5, the Piedmont Bulldogs, a team, again, not playing a regular season game this week. They are in the Champions Challenge tomorrow down in Montgomery. I'll be calling that game on the AHSAA radio network at Crampton Bowl tomorrow, so I'll have a chance to see them firsthand tomorrow against Dadeville. That game does not count in the regular season standings. That is basically an exhibition game. They'll open up next week with Cherokee County, and I'll get to see them again as my crew will be coming up to the Field of Champions for that big rival game, the Battle of Highway 9. So Piedmont at number 5. Number 4, the Central of Clay County Volunteers beating Munford tonight 10-7. No reason not to have Central Clay moving up to 5A in our top 5. And I think they've got another very top caliber defense again this year, as we saw with our Talladega Ford game of the week. And I look for them to have a big season once again. Top 3. Number 3, the Sacs Wildcats. Sacs, again, last night playing St. Clair County in a jamboree game out at Sacs. They led 38-3 at one point. Go on to win at 38-17. Impressive performance in the spring game against Alexandria up at Jack State. no reason to have sacks out of the top 5. I think this is certainly one of the quality teams in Class 4A in the state of Alabama. In our preseason magazine, I've got them headed to Auburn, picked to go to the Super 7 in Class 4A. Now our top 2. Number 2, Oxford Yellow Jackets, impressive performance last night on the road at Southside. Great passing game, a midseason form passing game. Defense looked good as well. Oxford very impressive at number 2. And I don't think, especially after what happened tonight down at Duck Sanford Stadium in Auburn, there's any question about right now who's number 1. That's Gadsden City. They beat the team that was the state runner-up last year in Class 6A. The Auburn Tigers had a lot of returnees. I know they lost Rashawn Evans, who went to Alabama, and some other key players. But they have a lot coming back, and for Gadsden City to go down and win in double overtime down at Auburn tonight, a big win for Matt Scott. And guess what, Mickey Shadricks, as we bring it back over there to you, here's the matchup next week. It's our Talladega Ford Game of the Week. We've already made the announcement. Number 1 versus number 2 in our power poll. They're not in the same classification. Gadsden City in 7A, Oxford in 6A. But right now, I think the top 2 teams in East Alabama in my power poll are going to play each other next Friday night at Titan Stadium. Mickey, that ought to be a dandy.
Which means we'll probably have some movement at the top of the East Alabama Power Poll next Friday night. Great segment, great stuff there with John Holder, and I'm sure that'll create some water cooler debate as the season rolls on. Tune in every Friday night to see how John ranks the top 10 in our East Alabama Power Poll. Also, stay tuned for much more coming up right here on the Pigskin Roundup.
We're the Alexandria Valley Cubs, and you're watching Pigskin Roundup on TV 24.
Hey folks, this is George Brunner with Superior Hyundai. The 2015s are on the lot, and regardless of profit or loss, the 2014s gotta go. Superior Hyundai offers special military discounts, special first responder discounts, and special educator discounts as a way for us to say thanks for your service. And we offer a first-time buyers program and a fresh start program that helps good people with bad credit. So our goal is 100% credit approval. Plus Hyundai Assurance and America's Best Warranty, 10 years, 100,000 miles. So drive happy at Superior Hyundai in Anniston, Alabama.
The Calhoun County Commission, made up of Fred Wilson, Tim Hodges, Don Hudson, J.D. Hess, and Rudy Abbott, asks that you take a look at what Calhoun County has to offer. With our beautiful parks, neighborhoods, recreational facilities, historic sites, and museums, our citizens enjoy a high quality of life and strongly support the arts. If you're considering expanding or starting a new business, take a look at what Calhoun County has to offer. You'll be glad you did.
Your neighborhood Grub Mart is your one-stop shop for everything you need when you're on the go. Grub Mart features the best prices on Coke and Pepsi products and is home to the 99-cent bag of ice every day. And Grub Mart is your exclusive home for the popcorn bucket. Purchase yours for only $5.99 and then bring it in for free refills throughout the year. That's right, free popcorn for a full year. Your locally owned and operated Grub Mart, in business for over 72 years.
It's B&B Pawn's 23rd annual Buy and Sold Trade Day, a sale so big it takes 2 days. This Friday and Saturday at the Anniston location, Highway 202. Special savings store-wide. All jewelry 20 to 60% off. We'll be buying high-end watches, silver, flatware, sports memorabilia, and any size diamonds. Paying top dollar. Private appointments available. Bring anything of value and turn it into cash. Don't miss B&B Pawn's 23rd annual Buy and Sold Trade Day this Friday and Saturday at the Anniston location, Highway 202.
At RMC, we love serving people in the small towns of Northeast Alabama. The lifestyle, the food, the people. But make no mistake, there's nothing small about the care we provide. In fact, we're a member of the UAB Cancer Network and have the Blue Distinction Award for cardiac care and are rated in the top 5% in the country by the Commission on Cancer.
It's not about the size of the town.
It's not about the size of the town.
It's not about the size of the town.
It's about the strength of our regional health system.
Hi, I'm Coach Smith of the Jacksonville Golden Eagles, and you're watching the Pigskin Roundup right here on TV 24.
And we're back on the Pigskin Roundup. A reminder, coming up in just a few moments, we will have the announcement of our first KFC Jackson Mortgage Company Team of the Week. Right now, it's time for our first edition of the 2014 season of Region Roundup. Here's John Holder.
In classification, Mickey, we have got a lot of regions to cover involving teams here in East Alabama. So we're going to jump in and talk all about it right now. We're going to go through every region. Now, some of these regions may only have one team in our viewing area, but tonight we're going to cover every one of them. Some of the teams played tonight, but there were no region games played in week number 1. There will be no region games next week. We will not start region play until week number 3, basically, of the high school football season. Let's begin in Class 1A Region 1 in our Team 1 Automotive Group Region Roundup. That includes Shades Mountain Christian, who won tonight over JCA, Victory, Appalachian, Donahoe, and Ragland. That's really going to be the two teams along with Victory that we're going to be looking at in Class 1A Region 5. Also in 1A, we go to the north, and Class 1A Region 7, basically Donahoe moved out, Collinsville moved up, a 9-team region to a 7-team region. Cedar Bluff, Coosa, Galesville, Spring Garden, Valley Head, Woodville, JCA. Virtually all those teams except for Valley Head and Woodville are teams here in our coverage area. Also, we moved to 2A Region 5. Really a couple of teams that moved down into this region. Ranburne and Woodland joining Lafayette and Horseshoe Bend and Reeltown and those teams. So those are the two teams we'll be concerned with. Basically will be Ranburne and Woodland. Also in Class 2A, we go to the north. We were talking with Coach Morris about Gaston in there, West End, also Collinsville with a lot of returnees, as we got mostly a DeKalb County, Cherokee County, Etowah County region there. Also, as we go now to Class 3A, we'll take a look at 3A Region 6. All local teams in this area, Glencoe, Piedmont, and also Walter Welborn, all in the top 10 in the preseason in Class 3A. A strong region there in 3A Region 6. Also, as we continue moving up the ladder there, 3A Region 7, really the only team in that region from our viewing area, the Sandrock Wildcats, playing in Class 3A for the first time this year. Now we jump to Class 4A. 4A Region 3, again, Munford going south. Really the only team in our viewing area. They got sent south again. A couple years ago they were in the south, and they're back down there again with teams like Leeds, who beat Madison Academy tonight. Also in 4A, you take a look at 4A Region 6. Jacksonville with that big win tonight. Sacs moving up to 4A. White Plains moving up to 4A. So that's going to be a strong region, especially at the top of that region in 4A Region 6. Class 5A now. 5A Region 3, we got Talladega, Sylacauga, the central Clay County in that region. We go to 5A Region 7, and Region 6, I should say, Anniston, Lincoln, and Alexandria, all moving up from Class 4A into Class 5A. Also in 5A Region 7, really the only team we're concerned with in this region, the Etowah Blue Devils, joining a lot of teams from the Tennessee Valley in that region. We go now to Class 6A Region 3, Oxford and Pell City, in with folks like Ben Russell, Opelika, Valley, some powerhouse teams there. And also in Class 6A Region 7, we've got Southside in there, and they basically in a region with a lot of former 5A teams. Only Lee of Huntsville and Albertville were in 6A. All the rest of those teams not only in 5A, but they moved up with Southside from the same 5A region. So Mickey, that's basically our regions affecting teams here in the TV24 viewing area for 2014.
All right, thanks a lot, John. Look forward to those reports each and every Friday night. Great information, Region Roundups, breaking that down for you as the season wears on. And we're getting down to the end of our first show here on the Pigskin Roundup. Want to remind you once again, the Pigskin Roundup magazine is on the stands, and you can pick yours up at your neighborhood KFC, also your Samco Express Mart, select Samco locations, also at your neighborhood Jack's Restaurant, your Young Old Company Grub Marts, and also Dad's Barbecue. There's not many left. These things have been going fast since we put them out earlier in the week, so make sure you go out and pick up your copy before they're gone. If you go to one of our select locations and you can't find one or they've ran out, you can call us here at the TV24 studios, come by and pick up one from us here. John Holder, back with us now.
Okay, we're going to also talk about our Noble Bank Look Ahead, where we look ahead to the first, I guess we would say, full week of the high school football season. We're not going to give you every game here that's taking place next week, but we're going to highlight for you what we feel like are the 5 most significant games coming up in our region next week. And we begin with a couple of Thursday night games, and we'll have our cameras coming up next week at Southside, another Thursday night game, 2 Thursday night games in a row at Barney Hood Stadium in Southside. This time they get their arch rival from across the county, the Hoax Bluff Eagles. I saw some Hoax Bluff coaches there last night scouting things out. Southside and Hoax Bluff, a traditional Thursday night opener, and that will be the opener for Hoax Bluff's second game for Southside next Thursday night. Also a big Cherokee County Thursday night matchup next week. That will be up at Trojan Field at Galesville. Galesville and Sandrock in another cross-county rival on Thursday. That will be up at Galesville. We've mentioned our Talladega Ford Game of the Week. Chad Barnett will be at Titan Stadium. Now, this is not a region game, but I'm telling you, these are rivals. If Gadsden City has a rival and if Oxford has a rival, it's each other. Not a region game, but coming off two huge wins, Gadsden City and Oxford, next Friday night at Titan Stadium. What about this matchup? Sax and Walter Welborn. Number 6 team in the state in 4A. Walter Welborn, number 5 in 3A. Bitter arch rivals at Jack Stewart Field at Sax. A huge game here in Calhoun County next week. And also, this is my last one that we want to talk about for next week. Lincoln and Pell City. Pell City with that big win tonight against Walker. Lincoln opening up the season. Mickey, for the first time in 29 years, and I thought this was for a lot of years was a natural rival, especially with the growth of Lincoln. Lincoln and Pell City for the first time in 29 years will meet at Keith Howard Memorial Stadium in Lincoln next Friday night. That ought to be a good one.
Already hearing Lincoln folks real excited about this matchup. Pell City football is back, and Lincoln is excited about what they've got this year.
And Brooks Dampier, you know, his dad was the head football coach a couple of years ago over at Lincoln, so you know that he's going to be excited. Yeah. Extra special to go in there and take on the Lincoln Golden Bears. Well, our KFC Jackson Mortgage Team of the Week is back again this year. And Mickey, again, we're going to be asking the question we ask every Friday night: who's getting the chicken and the T-shirts? Tell folks first what the winning team gets every week.
Well, the winning team, as John mentioned, gets the KFC chicken meal, and they'll have their team of the week meal. Most teams do that on Thursday night, which is the kind of a team meal before their next big game. Also, we'll have the Jackson Mortgage Company KFC team of the week T-shirts and a trophy as well. So it's a unique award each and every Friday night, and teams look forward to this.
And we didn't have a lot of teams to choose from because we, again, really not recognizing Jamboree. So we were choosing from the regular season games that were played tonight across East Alabama. And we've got a team that I think is very deserving of winning this because, Mickey, they have not won a game on the field since 2012. Make the announcement.
And, you know, this team, John, impressed you and I and many other folks back in the spring games that we broadcast up at JSU Stadium. And this week's the inaugural team of the week for the 2014 season, the Ohatchee Indians. A 37-0 winner tonight over Southeastern. Congratulations to Coach Martin, new coach there. The Ohatchee Indians, our first KFC Jackson Mortgage Company team of the week for this season.
They don't have the fried chicken in Tuscaloosa, so Coach Martin's going to get welcome in big time to how we do it here in East Alabama. Ohatchee getting the chicken and the T-shirts. That's going to wrap it up. We'll be back next Friday night again with a full 2-hour Pigskin Roundup presented by Superior Hyundai. For Mickey Shadricks, I'm John Holder and our entire Pigskin Roundup team. We'll see you next Friday night for Week 2 of high school football on the Pigskin Roundup on TV 24.